Holy potatoes, a weapon shop. Holy potatoes, a weapon shop. Holy potatoes, a weapon shop. So the gameplay is fairly straightforward. You play as the protagonist, a potato who inherits his grandfather's weapon shop. There is some kind of a plot where, you know, you're crafting all these different weapons for different heroes, and you are also trying to keep the shop out of evil hands. Just not to spoil anything, but really it's pretty obvious who the bad guy is in this in the game. And that's kind of it in terms of the plot. As for the gameplay, you, as the name suggests, you're a potato that owns a weapon shop and then you craft weapons. There are 4 stats for the weapons, and this is important because you gotta maximize the stat in accordance to the hero that you want to sell it to. For example, if you're selling to an archer, then you will want to maximize the accuracy stat because they will favor that more. So an archer will pay more for a bow that has this accuracy stat to maxed. Well, I wouldn't say max, there's no cap on the stats in this game. It's just like, you know, the main stat would be accuracy, as opposed to say a magician who likes bows but would prefer the main stat to be magic. Certain heroes favor certain stats. You want to try and maximize that particular stat in order to sell the weapon at the best price possible. And when you sell the weapon at the best price possible, A, you know, you make the most money out of it, but also B, the hero that you sell the weapon to levels up more, and you're gonna want to try and max out the heroes that you're selling the weapons to. It doesn't necessarily directly affect gameplay. Like, you could just like sell them as much as you want and then be done with the region and move on whenever the region opens up. But it is advised that you try to max it out so that you get as much money as possible, because money is a huge component of this game. You will need the money to pay your blacksmiths at the end of the month. You need to send them on vacations so that they would stay happy working for you. And you also needed to buy certain materials. As for the materials, you could also send your blacksmiths out to explore, but that means you take them away from making the weapon in your shop. So you gotta like figure out what sort of strategy you want to do. Like, I mean, you can always just like craft a weapon, use all your blacksmiths to craft one weapon, and then send them all out to explore. And or, you know, if you have 4 blacksmiths, for example, half of them can go exploring while half of them make the weapon. It's just a matter of how you do it so that your weapon crafting isn't compromised and you don't end up making something shitty with your materials and sell it for crap. Also, you need to spend money researching and figuring out how to make new weapons, because as you move on in the different regions of the game, different heroes will prefer different weapons, and you will have to figure out a blueprint to make those, and those cost money. Yeah, I've been bankrupt 3 times in this game, and that's the maximum amount of times you can be bankrupt. You have 3 chances. You know, basically, like if you're bankrupt up to 3 times, your ass gets saved by the potato blacksmithing guild. But after that, I think you're just officially bankrupt and it's kind of like game over for you. I'm not super sure what happens because I tried avoiding this ending. But I would say, just like in real life, try not to be bankrupt. You know, there are a lot of games that demands money, and I'm not saying that like in-game money at least. And I'm not saying that, you know, I shouldn't pay my, you know, potato blacksmiths, or I shouldn't pay to buy materials because it's not like I can steal them, etc, etc, etc. It's just like, you know, I play video games to get away from real life, and people really want money from me in real life, and I don't want to have the money to pay rent. It's just reminding me that I can't pay my rent. Oh my god, I play video games and escape real life now, asking me for money. Why I actually like this game. So I love potatoes. Potatoes are the best vegetables to ever exist on earth. There's literally no bad way to cook a potato. Potatoes, so fucking great. I love potatoes. So that's kind of what caught my eye at first, because I love potatoes. But also the character designs are really adorable. There is plenty of potato related puns if that's up your alley. And the creators have also tried to incorporate plenty of pop culture references. such as the different heroes that come to your shop to ask for weapons, are characters that you may already be familiar with, but with potato-like puns like Bulk Bogan, Laura Croft, Tony Starch, Harry Potter. I laugh out of the game every now and then because honestly, I feel like while it's a pretty put together game, there's not a lot to. There's both a lot to do but not a lot to do. Like in terms, there's like plenty of that, but like breath-wise, it's kind of just like that because you're just making weapons. Just that's you make weapons and then you research on how to make those weapons, but everything and get materials to make said weapons, and honestly everything just kind of falls under the umbrella of weapon crafting. So if you're looking for like an easy game where you don't have to think a lot, this might be the game for you. But if you're looking for something a little bit more challenging, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this game. So Holy Potatoes, a weapon shop, is developed by a small indie studio in Singapore, like I mentioned. And I think that might be why story-wise it's a bit lacking. Maybe they don't have a very big story team, but for such a small studio to come out with a game that's done so well globally and also with such adorable design, and frankly, like, to be very fair, it is pretty well put together. So kudos to the Daylight Studios team. Hey, I hope you guys like this episode, and I'm still working on a lot of things. I'm still working to figure this out, make things better, and be patient with me. There will be more stuff soon. So yeah, bye! For a certain amount of money because you really need the money so that damn blacksmiths can go on vacations. Paid vacations? Like, I must be like the best potato boss ever. Seriously.